Hi, Mickey class. I'm cooking a few things today, and I thought maybe you would like to watch, and then maybe I can talk to you, tell you some stories or something when we're doing it. So I think I'm gonna make three things today. Okay, the first thing is my dinner. um, so we'll get that ready first. Then we're going to start. We're going to be making some breadsticks, and then we're going to be making some apple turnovers. So for dinner today, I'm going to have some tofu and some broccoli and some eggplant all together, I think. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to press the tofu. Then when we're waiting for the tofu, we are going to start the dough for the breadsticks. I love breadsticks. There is a restaurant in America called Olive Garden. And it's not a good restaurant, but it's a popular restaurant. It is an Italian restaurant, so it has a lot of pasta and noodles and things. But the thing that is really good there is you get free breadsticks. These ones are so good. I miss them so much, so I'm going to make some. Also, I bought a lot of puff pastry dough. So much of it. When I was at the baking store before, I haven't used any of it. So I'm going to use some of it. I'm going to be making some apple turnovers. It's like a small apple pie. So, like I said, the first thing we're going to do is get dinner ready. So I will need broccoli, but I don't need it yet. So I will keep it in the refrigerator. I do need tofu. And I also need eggplant. I, right now, am trying this frozen eggplant from Costco. I've never tried it before, but we'll do this, but it's in the freezer now. So, I'm going to just start to put it out to thaw. Thaw is when something was in the freezer, and now you want it to warm up a little bit. So we'll put that there. I'll have my tofu, and I need a towel. So, I know your mommies and daddies are probably going to laugh at me for how I do this, but there is a tool that helps you to do this, or you can also buy tofu that's already ready like this. But what I do is just the way I always do it. Doesn't matter to me. I buy this tofu, I get a towel, I put a towel on the counter. Oh my goodness! We need to talk about the egg experiment. We'll do that very soon. My egg is still sitting here waiting to see it. Okay. So, I'm putting a towel on the counter. I'll let you see it soon. I'm going to open up my tofu. There's water inside, right? So I'm going to take it to the sink to get all the water out. I'm going to put it down on my towel. Now, I'm going to take my cutting board. I'm going to put it on top of my tofu. Let you see what I'm doing. Okay, so here's the tofu. It's on the towel because there's so much water inside the tofu, right? Then, all of the water, I'm going to push it out of the tofu and it's going to go on my towel. So I'm going to put this here because it's heavy. And then I'm going to take my kettle. My kettle already has water in it. I'm just going to put it up here. And it's going to push down the tofu. It's so funny. I've never really thought about how funny this is until right now that I'm making a video about it, but it's okay. Then, the tofu will not break as easily when I cook it. So we'll leave this for now. Let's actually check our egg experiment. So here is our egg. Remember, this was the naked egg, so we put it in the vinegar. And you can even see, it's kind of gone now, because mine's actually been here for more than 2 days, but you see that little brown piece? My egg had a brown shell, so that's all the brown. So, now let's take the egg out of the vinegar. And the first thing I notice, oh my goodness. The first thing I notice is there's no more brown on my egg. This part is actually clear. You can see through. So inside our egg, we have the clear part, or the white part when you cook an egg, right? And you have the yellow part in the middle. The yellow part is called the yolk. That would actually, sometimes, that turns into a baby chicken, but not in the eggs that we buy. And it's inside all of the white, or the clear part, which is the white when you cook an egg, but the clear part is actually what the baby chicken would eat for its food inside here. And actually, all of that is protected by, this is called a membrane. This is actually inside the eggshell. So if you ever open an egg, sometimes you will notice that the shell is kind of has like a tape or plastic attached to it. That's actually this membrane. So all the vinegar did was just make the shell go away, and now we have this membrane. So now we have this squishy egg. And actually, it's even a little bit bouncy. Let's see if we can see it bounce. Look at my bouncy egg. Oh my goodness. Now, I showed some of you this on our Google Meet, and I said I would cut it open, which I will do. Now, what do you think is going to happen when I cut this egg open? I think it's going to be a very big mess, but let's try. I'll do it so you don't have to. Wow! It was like a balloon! Wow, I made a mess, but that's not what I thought was going to happen. It just popped. It popped like a balloon. And now we have this. I have to wash my hands. It's not good to get egg on your hands, but that is actually really interesting. Wow. All right, let me clean that up, and then we'll start cooking some bread. Now let's start these breadsticks. It is going to take a long time, so we'll start them first. So anytime you make any bread, the first thing you need is yeast. Yeast is what makes the bread come up. So I have some yeast in my refrigerator. This is yeast. I got it at the baking store. You can get it, I think, at pretty much any store. I'm going to take some of this yeast, some warm water, and some sugar. And that's going to be making some bubbles that I can start to make some bread dough. So I need 1 cup and 2 tablespoons of warm water. So this is a cup here, and this is a tablespoon. So I already just put the tablespoons in the cup. I also need 2 tablespoons of sugar. So I'm just going to take my sugar and I'm going to put it in like this. Good. Okay. And I need, 1 1/4 tablespoon of yeast. That's the important part. The yeast actually needs sugar to eat it. So let's open up this yeast. I have my yeast, so I need 1 1/4 teaspoon. So this is 1 teaspoon. So 1/4. We're going to be talking about quarters very soon. I think maybe next week in math. Okay, good. We're going to mix this just a little bit, and then we're going to wait 5 minutes for some bubbles to happen. So we'll mix it all together. Now we'll wait for 5 minutes. Okay? Let me see. What time is it? Okay. Now, oh, I hear John coming. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to be making are apple turnovers. So for that, I'm going to need apples, right? And I need to cut my apples. So I'll just start doing that right now. Oh, John knows it's dinner time. Let's give him some dinner. You want to eat, baby? Let's give you some food. He was eating some watermelon before, but I don't think he likes it. But that's okay. He's just trying new things. Some of this food. And maybe he will eat the watermelon also. So I need 2 apples. They can't have any skin and they need to be sliced. So first I'll take off all the skin. Okay, I took the skin off. Now we need to cut these apples really small. So first, I'll just cut pieces off like this, right? I'll cut in maybe like half. I'll always be very careful with a knife. See, my finger is not in the way. Cut out the seeds. So, Jung Jung did not like the watermelon. It is still in his bowl, which is okay because we're just seeing what kinds of foods that he does like and what he doesn't like, right? But it's interesting because he really likes cheese and he really likes mangoes and he even likes those goldfish crackers. So maybe he only likes orange food, which is so funny because his name is Orange Sauce. So maybe he only likes orange food. So I will keep finding more orange food to give him. Maybe I will make a video about giving Jung Jung different food to try. Yesterday I had to go somewhere for just 1 hour, very quickly. I stay home as much as I can for Jung Jung, especially on the weekends when I don't have to go to school or anything. Because yesterday, for me right now when I'm making this video, yesterday was Sunday. It's Monday evening right now. And I went and I was cleaning all day yesterday. I was cleaning my house a lot. So much cleaning. And somebody was angry at me, Mr. Jung Jung, because I wasn't sitting around him playing with him so much like he wanted me to. And so I left, and when I was leaving my house, I had a whole bunch of garbage and recycling and things just waiting in bags because my room that I go in my building to take all of my garbage is only open sometimes. And I was waiting for it to open. And I came home, and after only 1 hour, Jung Jung ate all of the garbage, which is not surprising. Dogs do that. But it was such a big mess, and I just finished cleaning my whole house. I was so angry, but Jung Jung is still new, and he is still learning, so I could not tell him I was angry. So I said, I'm so sad at you. I'm so sad at you, Jung Jung. And then I made him so sad. And then he did not play with me for a long time, but there was garbage everywhere, all over my living room. There was papers and tissues, and he even found I had some sandwich bread, like some toast, that I didn't eat fast enough, and so it was bad, and I had to go throw that away too. And he ate all of the bread. And then it was time for us to go walking at night. And he was still so angry at me that I was sad at him and angry at me that I didn't play with him all day. He did not even want to go on a walk. This silly little boy. But then Battle came over and walked with him. So it was okay. Okay, so the apples are okay for right now. I'm going to put them in some water just to keep them from turning brown. Apples turn brown sometimes. And then I will come back to them later. So now with the apples, we'll go back to the bread. It doesn't look like the yeast got very bubbly, which is okay because sometimes the yeast is just bad. Sometimes you just need to try again. And sometimes it will even just bubble up later when you put more ingredients. So my choices are I could try again, or I can just see what happens later. And I'm not making like a big thing of bread. I'm just making small breadsticks. And yeast is what makes it fluffy and puffy. So I'm not going to be very bothered if I have flat breadsticks. I think it's okay. And I'm making a whole lot of other things right now. So I think we're just going to go ahead and see what happens. Okay, so next I need to put in 1.5 teaspoons of salt. That's about a half. Yeah. you can buy spoons that tell you it's a half or not, but I've been making things for so long, I can tell. We need some oil, so we need 3 tablespoons of oil. 1, perfect. 2, perfect. 3, perfect. I'm so good. Now we need 2 cups of flour. That's very important. We're going to put more flour in later, but first we just need 2 cups. So I have my cup here. There are 2 different ways to measure things. You can use cups or you can use the scale. This recipe is telling me about the cups, so I'm using cups. So we'll put 2 cups of flour. Here we see the lines. So Taiwan, in most countries, usually will use ml, milliliters, or g, grams. Usually grams for cooking. But America uses cups, and so a lot of recipes that you find on the computer, if you use Google, they will tell you in cups. So you can just go buy a measuring cup at a store, and it's okay. So we'll use 2 cups of flour for right now, and then we'll put in more. Now we're going to mix it up, and then when that's finished, we'll put more flour in. So we'll mix first. All right, look at that. And now it looks like we need 1 more cup of flour, but maybe a little bit more than 1, so maybe it's a big cup. Hi, puppy, are you coming to see me? I don't have anything for you to eat right now. I don't have any orange food for orange sauce, Mr. Puppy. And always when you're making bread or something with dough, if it's too sticky, you always just put more flour later. But this should be good. So I'm going to make sure that this is mixed, and I'm going to use my hands to mix it. That's called kneading it, and I'm going to do that for about 10 minutes. And just knead this. Oh, it's really sticky. I think we need much more flour right now. So, about Zhang Zhang, I'll tell you another Zhang Zhang story. He is, because remember, first he had a dog, well, he has a dog teacher. It's actually Battle's dog teacher who's helping us with things about Zhang Zhang. And the dog teacher says, well, Zhang Zhang is from a mountain, and the city is such a strange new place. And so it's a very scary place for Zhang Zhang right now. So when he first came to my house, I couldn't take him outside to go to the bathroom right away, right? So this still needs much, much more flour. So he was going to the bathroom inside my house, which is okay because I made some spaces for him that he can go. I said, okay, you can go here. And he chose some spaces that he likes, some spots that he really likes too. So he'll always go in the same places so I can be ready and it's easy to clean up. So it's not so bad. Like he likes to go in my shower, which is really nice. That helps me a lot. Look, now this is not so sticky. So now I just need to. So for maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, he just did not go outside, which is tricky for him because he likes to go to the bathroom outside, but we know that if he went outside, it would be too scary. He would maybe run away, or even if he didn't run away, it would just be too scary to go to the bathroom. Well, last week, Wednesday, so I think that was 5 days ago, we tried to take him on a walk, and Battle was with him, so he is not as scared when Battle is around. And he went on the walk with Battle, and he loved it. He was playing and jumping and running. He loved walking. This is almost okay. So the next day, it was time for him to try all by himself. So most dogs need to go outside 3 or 4 or 5 times every day, and at least take like 2 big walks, right? But we still are waiting. We're still learning, right? He's still scared, so we take him 1 time every day. So I decided that every nighttime, when it gets dark, I'll take Zhang Zhang outside. So we went out the next day all by himself, no Battle. And he was scared. I had to carry him inside the building. And then when we got to the park, he said, wow, yay, the park, I remember the park. And he was playing and playing and playing and loved it. And then there was a fence. And there was a little hole in the fence. And he said, oh, I want to go in this hole in the fence. And there were so many trees and grass on the other side. And he went in. And I couldn't get him because he doesn't listen to me yet. When I tell him to come, he thinks everything is a game. So if I say, come here, he says, you're funny. No, I don't want to come here. So I said, come here, come here, come here, come here. And he did not want to. And so I had to reach into this little hole in the fence. It was so small. It was like my head. And I had to pull him out. He was not happy. He thought we were playing the whole time. He thought it was a game. And then he said, oh, now I'm angry at you. Now I don't want to walk home. So I had to carry him home. And he's so big, so difficult to carry. But he made some friends. There's a little girl who lives in my apartment building. She is also from another country like me. And I think maybe she is from South Africa. And she said she really likes him. And so she met John John, and John John wasn't afraid. She said, oh, can I touch him? And John John said, yes, you can touch me. And that was very special. So we keep going on walks, and we keep going on walks. And so now he is pretty good at going, but he still doesn't like to come home. So he'll walk in the park, we'll go far, far, far away. I'm going to say, okay, time to go home. And he says no. And he stops walking. And I have to pull him. And I say, come on, let's go. And he says no. And I have to pull, 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 pull. He is just so funny. But he's starting to walk by himself inside the building, which is really good. So he's almost walking like a big boy. And then soon we'll start to take him many times every day. And also he's just being so good and not scared of anything that he'll get to go to the vet, the doggy doctor, on Saturday, which will be good, just so we know everything is healthy and we can give him some shots he needs, right? Dogs and cats need shots. Just like when you are a child, you need shots, right? Just to make sure that you keep growing big and strong and healthy. It's the same thing with dogs and cats. Usually when they're babies, they get them, just like you get so many when you're babies, but Jong Jong didn't go to the doctor before because he was living on a mountain. So it will be good to just get him all those shots he needs. He's doing really good. I think later this week I'll make another Jong Jong video for you. I have so many pictures, so many videos of Jong Jong because I want to remember what he was like at first. Okay, so now this is ready. We're going to put it in a warm place. So I'm actually going to put it outside on my balcony. Cover it up with a towel, put it in a warm place for 1 hour, and then Google is going to tell me when it's ready. So now that's waiting, let's keep working on our apple turnovers. So the first thing we need to do for apple turnovers is we need to get 2 sheets of that puff pastry that I showed you. So let's do that. So in here we have 12 of them. I don't need 12 of them. Or no, it's not even 12 of them. There are, that's just saying the size there. I don't even know how many I have. But I only need 2. Actually, I'm going to use 4. So I took the water out of the apples, and now I'm just going to take 2 of these. So I'll choose these 2. And I am going to put apples on it. So we'll see if I have too many or not. Yeah, I think we do need more than 2. I think 4 is good. Now let's just make sure we have the same ones on all of these. Right? That looks okay. So now we need to get some butter, some sugar, and some cinnamon. So we need 40 grams of butter. So we turn this on, we put the bowl, but then look, the bowl is heavy, so we need to make it 0 again. Now we can put in some butter. Remember, this butter came in a whole block and it had 454 grams. So I'm just gonna be cutting some off, putting it in the bowl, and I'll stop when we get to 40. Good, okay. It's an interesting amount of butter, but okay. So now I'll turn this off, we don't need that. Now we're gonna take little pieces of butter and we're just gonna put them in different places with the apples. So we'll take little pieces and we'll just put them with the apples. We're making a sandwich, kind of. We need some sugar and some cinnamon. So 4 teaspoons of sugar, which works very well because that just means 1 teaspoon of sugar for each little square. Okay. Okay. Okay, you can already see the puff pastry dough is melting, which is great. I'm actually going to start my oven. I'm going to turn it on so it's getting ready. We want it to be 190 degrees, which mine already is. Okay, so we have our sugar. Now we just need cinnamon. So we're going to do a half teaspoon of cinnamon for each one of these things. Very nice. Maybe a little more here. Now we're going to put 1 on top of each one of these. What we're going to do is kind of close them. So we'll just wait a moment. So also we're actually going to need a little bit of milk. I'm just going to put it right in this bowl. It doesn't matter. We're going to first just use our fingers like we're making a dumpling. Do you ever make a dumpling with your parents or your grandma? This is like a big apple dumpling, kind of. Okay, now, we're not finished yet. We're going to put the ends in milk, 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 milk. And we're going to use a fork to finish pushing this together. Good, so now we've got some milk on the top of this one, and then we'll just put a little bit of sugar on top, and this one is ready to cook. And I'll go put it on the pan because it's ready, and I'll do all the other ones. Alright, now we're going to put these in the oven for 20 minutes, and they should be finished. We've got the bread still rising, we've got that cooking. Google's going to tell me when the bread is ready. So for right now, let's keep making dinner. So the tofu should be ready. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so we take off the kettle. We take off this. And this is all wet now with water from the tofu. But we'll see that this is so much more squished down now, which means that when I cook it in the pan, it won't break so much. So we can even get all the vegetables ready when this is cooking. So let's get this ready. So let's put this back on here. We don't need this towel anymore. So this is so easy. We're going to be cooking this in a pan with some oil and some other vegetables. So for right now, all I want to do with the tofu is just cut it into small pieces and we'll cook it. And when I'm waiting, I'll cut up all my vegetables. I just need garlic left. All right, now it's time to put some vegetables in. Okay, so let's try this dinner. Oh, hot, 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 hot. Yummy. Tofu is good. It tastes tofu-y. Broccoli, very good. Eggplant, very good. Oh yeah. Yeah, take a look at this. Look at that delicious food. Here they are. I don't know if you can see, but they look very yummy. But let's just taste it. It's so fluffy. It's really good. And now it's actually time to finish the bread. So this is all going really good. Let's do that. All right, let's check our bread and see if it got poofy. It got so poofy. It's so poofy. So now guess what I have to do? I gotta punch it, make it small again. Still not that sticky. We're gonna make it into the shapes of the breadsticks that we need. Then we're gonna let it rise up for another hour. So look at that. Ooh, nice fluffy dough. I'm glad the yeast was working. Roll, 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 roll. Okay, so now we wait 1 more hour for these small bread sticks to get big and poofy. Then when we're waiting, I'm going to take John outside. And then when we come back, we will just put a little bit of butter on top of these. Put them in the oven. Cook them and they'll be finished. And then we can try those too. So John and I had a very nice walk. He did amazing. This is the first time he walked like a real dog, and he walked on the sidewalk, and he was walking with me, and I didn't have to pull him. Oh, he did so good. So let's check these breadsticks and see if they're ready to cook. Right, here's this that's covered up. Yeah, they got pretty fat. Okay. So we're gonna put some of them in the oven, and we're gonna see what happens. Okay, the breadsticks are finished. They are perfect. They are beautiful. They look and smell just like the ones at the restaurant I like. Here's one. It looks so yummy. It's still a little hot, but we'll taste it soon. Actually, John already snuck and jumped on the table with his mouth and already ate one. So he must think they're really yummy. I think he likes bread. Look at him right now. He's trying to be sneaky. Good boy. All right, let's try it. It's really hot. Ah. Oh, wow. It tastes just like the restaurant. I love it so much. Wow, it's just like the restaurant back in America. It's so good. Wow. We have done a lot of cooking today. I'm pretty messy. And it's been a long time. But if you're still watching this video, thank you for watching this video. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.